One of the most impactful moments of my life didn't happen on a stage, it happened just outside of one. I had just finished speaking at an event, and it was around the time that my second book, The Seven Laws of Love, had just been launched. And I remember stepping off the stage with the light still warming my face, the applause still echoing in the background, and people coming up and congratulating, smiling, and celebrating. But there was one person that stood out in the room, and that was Raymond Aaron. Now, Raymond Aaron is a New York Times bestselling author, and more than that, he's been a mentor and a dear friend of mine for nearly a decade. He's a man who's helped me write my first book, and here we were sharing the same stage. It's kind of full circle. So I walked up to him after we had chatted a while. I asked, "Would you be willing to endorse my new book?" And he smiled, and just being the gracious person that he is, he said yes. So the three of us, my wife joined me, the three of us, and my wife held up the phone and she began to record the video, and I froze. Suddenly I just froze. I started to speak, but the words didn't land. I was trying to get it perfect, but I stumbled, I fumbled. The message didn't feel like mine. And that's when Raymond gently leaned in and said something I'll never forget. He said, "Stop, just stop." And so I did. Then he looked at me right in the eyes and he said this. He said, "Jim, you know your content. You've lived through the battles. You're not just sharing something you've learned, you're teaching what you've walked through. You're an expert in what you share. So gather your thoughts, get clear, and speak from the heart." Well, in that moment, it changed everything for me. Because in that one conversation, Raymond named something that I had been doing but hadn't owned. That's what I now call the law of authentic communication. And it became one of the 5 foundational truths that I live by and teach to every client I coach. Because here's what I've learned over the years. That most leaders, they're not lacking talent, they're not lacking experience, they're certainly not lacking intelligence. But what they're lacking is a framework to turn what they already know, what they've already lived, into influence, income, and impact. That's why I created something that I call the 5X Laws of Authority. Now, these 5 laws are what I believe every expert, entrepreneur, coach, and speaker needs to embody to go from being the best kept secret in their space to becoming visible, valuable leaders. So let me walk you through them quickly here. Law number 1 is the law of alignment. Real authority starts with identity. You've got to know who you are, what you believe, and who you're here to serve. When you align with your truth, everything else begins to fall in place. The second law is the law of voice. You already know what to say, you just need to say it. Your story, your scars, your breakthroughs, they're the very things your audience is waiting to hear. You don't need to sound like anyone else, you just need to sound like you. The third law is the law of structure. Authority, it's not an accident, it's engineered. If you want to scale your impact, you need a system, a signature framework, a method, if you will. Your message must be clear, repeatable, and transformative. The fourth law is the law of visibility. What's hidden can't be hired. If you're doing great work but no one knows who you are, that's not humility, that's a problem. Visibility is not about ego, it's about access. And people can't follow you if they can't find you. Law number 5 is the law of invitation. Great leaders don't just teach, they invite others to rise. Once you're visible, it's not enough just to talk. You've got to invite others into something bigger, your community, your coaching, your mission. These are the 5X laws of authority, and they've guided me in so many others to build businesses, write books, launch programs, speak on stages, and finally get recognized for the expertise that they've been carrying for years. So here's what I want to say to you. If you've lived it, if you've built something worth sharing, if you're ready to step into your next level of influence, then I want to invite you to download the 5X Laws of Authority PDF right now. You'll find the link below in this video. And once you've read through the guide, if something in it resonates with you, if you know it's time to get visible, time to start to lead and to monetize your message, then I've opened up a handful of strategy sessions to talk directly with people just like you. These are one-to-one calls where we'll explore your expertise, clarify your story, and structure your authority into something powerful, profitable, and scalable. So don't wait. Click on the link below, download the 5 Laws of Authority PDF, book your session, and take your place. Stop allowing others to go ahead of you. Because the world needs to hear what you have to say. Your story matters, and I can't wait to support you in it. We'll talk soon.